job postings were for junior hardware engineers. So I had a really tough choice. Either I had to switch my career, or I had to move away from my family and friends. Now at the time, I really did not want to leave home, so I decided to switch to the software industry. And it really took 7 months of studying, working, networking, interviewing, and prepping until I got my first real job as an engineer. Thank you. I was very, very excited, so much so that I didn't realize that there would be some issues being a woman in STEM. And when I say issues, I mean I faced quite a few. One of which being training people who would get opportunities and promotions over me. I also faced my own internal struggles. So not wanting to speak up about the work that I've done because I'd be afraid it'd be seen as bragging. And worst of all, in some ways, was actually the office politics. So all of this, it was a really difficult time and a difficult few years in my career. But ultimately, they taught me so many things that got me to where I am today. All of the workplace politics taught me how to deal with difficult people and how to work with others as a team to focus on our end goals. The rejection after rejection taught me how to handle getting rejected from interviews and different job opportunities, one of which actually was Google. Now, fun fact, it actually took me 5 tries to get to where I am today. And I will tell you, I am so excited that I didn't give up. I'm working today with some of the smartest, most intelligent people, and most kind people in an environment where I know that I can ask anyone, whether it's my manager, my director, my teammates, for help, for support, or to even brainstorm. So, let's jump into the actual meat. Now, this was the slide that Amina was talking about. Yeah, you should be sorry. So, as we've all mentioned, we're in an AI revolution. The one thing I want everyone to know is just like steam-powered electricity and even computers, it took us a lot more time prior to that for the technology to be developed. These are just the dates that when it was generally available. It's the same thing with AI. Now, in 2017, there was actually a research paper done by Google on what we call transformers. Transformers are the basis of what we know for AI. It's a core foundation. It's even the T in ChatGPT. Now, as you can see, there were multiple iterations. When people learn this, they always ask, if we had the technology for so long, why did we not bring it and make it publicly available to the world? Well, there's 2 parts to that. Firstly, we wanted to make sure that whatever we bring has responsible AI at the foundation. And secondly, we actually did have it in our products. It just wasn't available in the way that people know of it today, as large language models that you can actually train. We had it in products that everyone uses on a daily basis, whether that's Google Search, YouTube, Maps, Photos, and Google Translate. Now, as you get started in your AI journey, I really want you to keep in mind 5 key things. Firstly, privacy. Whatever systems you're using, whatever AI you're using, make sure that you are the one that is in control of your data. 2, bigger is not always better when it comes to large language models. Now, you might be able to find a model that's smaller and more cost efficient that can get you the results that you need. You want to make sure that your results are grounded in factuality. What this means is that you can't ever really eliminate hallucinations. You can just reduce them or redirect them. 4, security. This is such an important thing. You want to make sure whatever systems you use that you're able to keep them secure and properly safe. And last but not least, ease of getting started. What this translates to is user experience. Not just yourselves with the tools, but as well your customers. You want to keep things like accessibility and user interaction top of mind. Now at Google, we have a whole suite of AI cloud products. the key thing I want everyone to keep in mind is that we have products for every skill set. So whether you're a business user who's completely new to AI and really doesn't know where to get started, or you're a developer who wants tools that can help make them more efficient and make their jobs easier on a day-to-day basis, or you're someone who has really deep level AI knowledge and really wants to go in and play with different foundation models and train your data and train the models. And I'm a hardware girl, so I gotta mention that we also have these amazing things called TPUs, which are tensor processing units. What this means is we have specialty devices at Google that were made explicitly for AI to run on so that it can be efficient and quick. Now let me jump into the demo. So first and foremost, I'm going to focus on, well, two topics because we might not have enough time, one of which is digital equity through internet, and the second one is language equity. So for digital equity, what we have here that you can see on this board is a map of Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles, I should say. I'm still trying to figure out where's where, I'm still new here. So what we have here is an index that can tell you what internet service providers are accessible in each region. Now, red, of course, being bad, it means that there's less access, and green means better. So one thing we can do is let's go and look and see what the teenage population in teenagers, schools, people within the age range of 10 to 20, where they're a little bit more difficult. So as you can see here, we have surprisingly some pockets in Beverly Hills where the internet service providers don't have great access. We have some in Inglewood and we have some in Los Angeles. When you zoom in, and mind you, internet's a bit slow, so please be patient, you can actually see that it can map it down even potentially to streets and locations. Now, things to keep in mind, we have two data sets in the back end of this, one of which is a publicly available census data set that we have on our BigQuery databases. And the second one is using Google's MLab database. We co-founded that, and that's an open source project in place. Now, this takes a little bit of time to load, but we also do have the same data in a numerical format. This gives us some insights into things like demographics, unserved population, and just give it a minute or so and it will load. One of the things as well is that not only can we drill this down by city, but by county, and we have a lot of options. Again, we'll focus on LA because this is where we're at. Mm-hmm. And so as you can see, at the very top, we have information about the maximum advertised download and upload speeds. These are in gigabits per second. What you can see is what the median download speed for users are significantly less. So this is, again, very important for different groups to know so they can understand where to put their resources to improve, I guess, access to internet. Now, in terms of demographics, there's a few things you should note. Locations is talking about where internet service providers have access. Units are both residential and business units. And households are purely households, so apartments, single-family homes. And we have some interesting statistics on the percentage of males and females, non-family households, employed and unemployed, people who fall under the poverty line, labor force, not in the labor force, and so on and so forth. And as well, we have it for our unserved population. Key thing to note, there are some useful percentages at the bottom that can tell you what percentage of the total units, so to speak. So again, there's 99,000, closer to 100,000 unserved units. This is 3% of the total units. And similarly, we have some graphs so you can drill down and see, again, related to this information in a potentially easier to read and digest format. Looking here, you can see again that max advertised download speed by location and compare it to the actual median download speed. Now, if we zoom in, it also will give you more information. And again, this is very useful, not just for internet service providers, but even for potential governments. Again, taking this out of the context of Los Angeles, for you to be able to see where exactly you need to focus on improving access for different groups.